Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today we are going to be making this very cute little gift bag, which I just love. Doesn't it just look like a beach bag or a tote sort of bucket bag? I just think it's really beautiful. These actually I made to send out to my customers who shop with me in January as part of their thank you gift pack. Everybody that shops with me always receives a gift in the post the following month. I really do appreciate everybody shopping with me. I know there is a lot of demonstrators out there that you can choose from, and I'm always really touched when people choose me as their demonstrator. So I do send out a gift every month, and because we are in celebration at the moment I can be even more generous with those gifts because Stampin' Up! Are even more generous with the gifts. So everybody that shopped with me in January should have received one of these little tote bags, and inside is a little pack of the gorgeous Stampin' Up! Gold binder clips. If you've not seen these before, these are really useful. Really pretty little clips. So they were in the bag, and then I also sent them a set, stamp set, a gift of love, which is a hostess stamp set from the annual catalogue. And because I still had a little bit, because I said we're in celebration and Stampin' Up! Are being really generous, I also popped in a blender pen for everybody to try. These are just, yeah, I'd never tried them before until recently, and really useful things to have. So thought customers would like that. Right, but I will stop babbling and I will show you exactly how I made this really cute little bag. So we're going to start with some stamping, and I have a piece here of pool party cardstock. This measures 9.5 by 4 inches. All of the measurements will be over on my blog as always. As I said, we are going to use the Special Reason stamp set, which is really beautiful. We're just going to use this smaller of the flowers. I've already mounted that up, and I've got some matching pool party ink. And we're going to do some tone-on-tone stamping. So let's move that over there. Is that a better place to have it? Yeah, we go. And we are just going to randomly stamp this all over a cardstock. I'm going to keep, I am keeping sort of to the top of the cardstock because there is going to be a base on this box, as you saw, and we don't really need to waste our time stamping that. So I think that looks pretty good to me. Maybe another little bit there. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, that is enough stamping. Move that out of the way, and I will grab up my scoring board. I'll stop knocking the camera at some point, I promise. Just lift that up so you can see the score line marks there. And we are going to start by scoring it along the long side, and we're going to score it at 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 7.5 inches, and at 9 inches. Okay. And then we are going to go back, and we are just going to do a tiny little notch. So I mean, just find 3 3/4 of an inch, and just put a little mark there at the top with your score tool, and do the same at 7 3/4 of an inch. Am I doing that right? No, sorry, it'll be 8 1/4. Sorry, 8 1/4 of an inch. So the notches are 3 3/4 and 8 1/4. All of those will be on my blog. I'll get them right on my blog, craftycarolinecreates.com. So all we've done is put a little notch in the centre of both of those there. Okay, oh, we need to do one more scoring. So that is then to turn it around. So we've got the short side at the top, and the bit where we sort of avoided the stamping at the end of your scoreboard. And we're just going to do one score line at 1.5 inches. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's find the bone folder. When I was prepping earlier on, I had Alex, my little boy, was helping me, and he was holding it for me just to keep him amused really, and I don't know where he's done with it. Let me just find that. Okay, so I found it, no problem there at last, and we are now just going to fold and burnish those score lines. Okay. That is them all done, and Now what we need to do is where we put those little notches, do you remember those little notches? So let me show you them, if I can show you this. So there's one there and one there. So sort of in the centre of these two smaller rectangular sections. And what you need to do is get a ruler or something with a straight edge. I have used Stampin blocks many times before. And what we need to do is a little bit more scoring. So we are going to go from that score mark to, let me show you, if we get closer, so from the notch there to that corner there. So from there to there, and then from there back to there. We're going to draw effectively a triangle, score a triangle on our panel. So line that up there and there. Okay. Okay, so that's one done. Let me show you, can see. Can you see that? Is that catching the light there? So you can kind of see that. I've scored there. I'm going to do the other one just here. So you just need to press on really quite hard. Doing it on something like grid paper is really good, because that will give you something to sort of press into. You don't want to be doing it on a hard desk. Oh, I slipped a little bit. This is a fancy ruler, isn't it? This is my husband's scale ruler for his work. There we go. So I've done that on that panel and on that panel. Okay, now before we start doing any cutting or anything else, let's just fold and burnish along those lines. So they should fold pretty easily if you've pressed hard, and you can just use your bone folder to make those nice and crisp. There we go, those fold up very nicely. There we go. So you can see we've made that triangle section. Let's just do this one here, like that, and last one just here as well. Okay, can you see that? Perfect. Now, before we do any more cutting, we are just going to cut out that little relief. We're going to do it on the panel that sort of has the two bits we've scored on either side. That is this section. As I said, we're going to use the Coordinating Stylish Stems framelets, which beautifully coordinate with the stamp set. Let me just show you what you get in here. You get lots of loveliness. You get these two beautiful flower dies which match the stamps perfectly, but you can also, these cut out a relief, and you can cut out around the relief as well. I think I've showed you that already on a video previously. Some lovely frames, some leaves, and a gorgeous stem. This is one of the little sleepers in the catalogue, I think. This is a really beautiful stamp set and die set that I think a lot of people will pass over on first look. So let's pull in the big shot. Oh, crash. There we go. I have rigged this up, and what I've got here is my magnetic platform. Stuck on top of that I have a well-used precision base plate. Then I'm going to pop in my cardstock, and I'm going to position this just by eye, roughly sort of in the bottom corner of that rectangle. Once I've done it, you'll see roughly where I have it, approximately where I have it. And then I'm going to put my cutting plate on top, and let's take that through. Okay. Let's take that off, put those out of the way, and I just got to show you how easily this die pops out. So she says, so take the die off, and then you just need to rub it with your fingers, and all of those petal pieces pop out super simply. How easy was that? I'm going to keep that little bit of die safe, so you can see how it coordinates so beautifully there with our stamping. What I've now got is a little piece of, this is I want to say Island Indigo. It is Island Indigo, a little piece of Island Indigo. This measures 1.5 centimeters square, which will just allow me to cover that up, and you can see that contrasting colour peeking through. So let's get some little bits of dimensional. So these are just the edge bits that I've cut off, so you are using every little bit of your dimensionals and just popping those down around the die cut on the opposite side, just on the cardstock, so I'm avoiding the holes. Peel off the back. Okay. There we go. You can pop that down, and you can see how that pokes through lovely. Right, so to build it up, we can do a little bit of cutting. So we are going to start with the 1.5 inch bit at the bottom. We're going to start by cutting up each of the score lines just until we get the one going in the opposite direction. Okay, there we go. Then the 2 square pieces that you get, we are going to wedge them out, wedge them out, whatever you want to call it. Just like that. Okay, and then the end bit, we are going to snip that off completely. So we're left with something that looks just like that. Okay, to fold this up is the simplest thing in the world. We're going to get some fuse. There we go, fuse. We're going to start by putting some along that little strip that we have left there. Then all you need to do is very simply just fold your box over, and they should line up nicely. There we go, you can see how it's coming together already. Fold in those 2 wedgy bits. The back piece is going to fall forward, so we're going to then put some more fuse on the last flap there. Okay. And then we can just fold that up, press it closed, and voila, you can see the box shape is coming together really nicely. Now, to the finishing touch and to make it look like that bucket bag that we want it to, we need to put the handles on. For that, we are going to use this gorgeous metallic glittery silvery ribbon, which you can get for free at the moment in Celebration. So for every £45 you spend, you can choose a Celebration item, and this is one of them. You actually get 2 reels. You get the silver one and the gold one, which I used on the other of the bags, which I put somewhere. Grab that in a second. What we need to do is grab our hole puncher and just hold your bag shut, and we're going to go about 1/4 inch from the edge, both down, and 1/4 inch across, and punch a hole there. And then do exactly the same on the other side. It's probably a bit somewhere like that. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 2 holes there, not very level, but you can take your time and do that a bit better. Then we are going to start feeding through this ribbon. Now it does fray a little bit, but don't worry about that. So we're going to go in through one hole. See, I said it does fray a little bit as you do this. Pull it through this hole. Is that right? Nope, I've done it wrong. Nope. No, that is right. I was thinking I'd done it wrong, but I haven't. So pull that through again. Don't pull it out like I did when you've done it right. Then we're going to pull it through this hole. So we sort of bed it through and then back through the other side, okay? And then you want to sort of pull the sort of length that you want for your handle. Probably about that. But give yourself a bit enough to tie a knot. Something like that. And we'll cut the other end. So we got a bit like this. Bit much Caroline there. It's a bit wasteful, isn't it? Pull that through on the other side. There we go. Okay. So this is where you want to sort of get your handle lengths right. So I'm thinking something like that. Then we're just going to tie this in a knot inside our bag. Okay, pull that taut. So we don't want it to come undone. I'm going to trim those tails. Go. There we go. Sorry about that. Pull that taut. So that should be hidden inside. And what I did on the ones I'm going to send out is I just put a little glue dot in the middle just to hold that closed. If I can find my glue dots. Oh, new box. You could, of course, always, if you wanted to, you could put a little loop over the top or something to help close that, but I'm just going to use a glue dot. So let me grab one of these. A little glue dot in the middle, just to hold that closed once you've popped your contents in. And there we go. That is a pool party and Lost Lagoon version. This is the one I showed you earlier, which was sauce saffron and chocolate chip, and I think they are just really fun little beach bag, bucket bag. Oh, straps are a bit longer on this one. You can, of course, obviously play around with these as you go. Right, I'm going to stop babbling. If you got one of these through the post as part of your thank you gift, I really hope you liked it and the gift. Thank you very much for shopping with me, and of course, if you would like to receive something like this in the post, all you have to do, place an order through craftycarolinecreates.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.